that's phase one. Objective number one, obviously, is trying to hit the ball solid. And hitting the ball solid kind of comes from, making sure that we take a proper divot, trying to get it in the center of the club face. Sometimes it could hit off the toe, sometimes it could hit off the heel. That's kind of a whole different situation. But as long as it's somewhere in the middle part, we can work with that and try to get it more centered on the club. But another thing, and lastly, kind of the most important and probably the most fun part is I want to talk about ball curve, where the ball starts out at when you're swinging, and why that happens. There's basically, if you take out, hitting it higher and hitting it lower, if you just take a medium trajectory shot or a normal trajectory shot, there's 9 ways that the ball can fly. Any idea what those 9 ways are? The ball can start left and curve left. The ball can start left and go straight, or the ball can start left and curve right, which I see a lot of, starting left, curving right. It's the same concept. It can start straight and do those 3 things, or it can start right and do those 3 things. And all 9 of those ways, all 3 of those starting points and curving off points are caused by 2 major things. There's more than 2, but they're a little bit more confusing, a little bit more in depth. But there's 2 main things that cause the ball to do what it does. One of them is where that club is coming in from, the path that you're swinging on, whether you're swinging from the inside, from the outside, or right on plane. And the other one is where the club is pointing when you get to the ball. Okay, so a lot of the time you'll see this a lot more as far as curve with a longer club or a driver, just because when you have a longer club and a driver, the ball is not backspinning as much, and so it will have more side spin. When you have a wedge or a shorter iron, it's a lot harder to curve because it's got so much backspin. But where was I going with that? I think what I was going to say is the path and the club face, that relationship is going to dictate what the ball is going to do. I was saying if you swing it from the inside, and not necessarily on the way back, mostly on the way through, because some people have a loop, or you look at Jim Furyk on tour. I'm not saying a loop is necessarily a bad thing. I wouldn't teach anyone to have a loop, but you can still get her done with it. If you look at Jim Furyk, for example, he takes the club super far outside and loops it back down. So he takes it outside, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's swinging out to in, because he has a loop that swings it back. So less of the backswing and more of the way through is going to dictate which way the ball starts mostly. Okay, so if we swing it from the inside on the way down, from the inside and out, the ball is probably going to start to the right. Does that make sense to everybody? Vice versa, if we take that club outside, and again, I don't want to confuse you with takeaway, but it's just easier to picture a one-plane swing. If you take that club outside and swing across it, swing on the way in, the ball is probably going to start to the left. The way that it curves, again, has less to do with the path that you're on and more to do with what that face is doing compared to your swing. So if you're swinging from the inside and you swing out, but that club face is closed, what do you think that ball's going to do? Draw. Yeah, it's probably going to start to the right and it's going to draw back to the left. Same thing on the other side. If you swing it way outside and swing across it and leave that club face open, it's probably going to start to the left and come back to the right, which I know you two are familiar with. Dusty, you're